We are here for VSK versus name pending in the VCU LCS Week 3. They did already draft in Pro Draft, so this is actually this is just the actual in-game draft. So we've already seen all of their champions, but I guess we won't spoil it right away until they pick. We'll just pretend this is the
I think we
actual
should
draft.
pretend. Yeah. Today we've got myself, Trevor, or 4G, casting with my boy Red Lightning, aka Tristan.
Howdy.
And man, the draft here is it's kind of crazy. Like all parts of the draft have been kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're. I don't know. I think that we'll see as we go down. But the picks on, I think both red side and blue side actually got really good drafts. Like I like both drafts
Agree.
on both teams. You gave away some actual like one trick champs to VSK, but in exchange, name pending literally got like the best comp you could possibly get on this patch, in my opinion, in terms of like 5v5 fighting.
Most of their
So
lanes have the best champion in that role, like
yeah,
or one of the top three, and that's it's not like having the tier list champs wins you the game, especially not VCU LCS, but man, does it kind of help. I mean, they've got scaling, they've got early game, they've got just one shot wombo damage, they've got side lane pressure. It's good for both teams. It just kind of depends up to who is going to win their lanes and who's going to be able to actually push their leads here and get to that later game stage or win in the mid game.
we'll just go really quick. We're just
Yeah.
sitting here. They're finishing up the draft right now, and they're going to. We're just going to be in the delay period. We'll just list off the champs, I guess. We don't have the
Sure.
champs up on the screen because that's graphic
Yeah.
is too much work. But we're just gonna have the same graphic until we get into game. But VSK is Aatrox, Nunu, Orianna, Zaya, and Rakan. And name pending ended up with Ornn, Udyr, Victor, Kaisa, Seraphine.
And
So
just if you maybe you missed the first champion named, but it was Aatrox for VSK. Captain of VSK is Dane World Ender. Uh, Aatrox One Trick, Aatrox Fanatic. Uh, Ornn Enthusiast also. So I'm a little bit worried for Terrain's life in the top lane because if anyone knows how to play Ornn and how to play Aatrox and how to play Aatrox into Ornn in the whole matchup, it's going to be Dane. And I hope that he doesn't get nervous on his on his main there. And if he's able to pop off, it's a much harder game for name pending.
definitely, I do think they are going to rely a lot on World Ender kind of smurfing here. I think he's going to have to get a pretty big lead. I like the. Oh, actually, that's Big Ichi is actually going to play the Udyr, not Vice. Vice is actually playing the Victor mid.
Really?
So
Whoa.
that's
Okay.
Big Ichi in the jungle. So that
Okay.
changes things a little bit. So
Okay.
far, Vice Lelele has been the jungler in both of their earlier games. Both which were losses. But Victor is a champ that I've seen Big Ichi and Vice Lelele play. I think they both play it really well, but Victor's one of Vice's best champs. So
Good to
I'm
hear. Okay,
excited
good.
to see him on there. I think that fits his playstyle better than it probably fits Big Ichi's.
Okay, I think that's good. I was wondering why Big Ichi picked that because you were saying you were thinking he was going to maybe go Yone there, and then but you were like hoping for a Victor pick. So and I didn't realize Big Ichi played Victor, and then no, he's not even going for it. So I don't know. It's really up to the junglers too. They've got both the spam ganking junglers with decent tanky wave clear. So it's they've got a lot of options, and it's kind of up to who is getting their lanes ahead as well to see who gets up in the mid game. Because it's if they get to late game, I am honestly both teams get a little scary, but I think VSK gets very 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 scary
Yeah,
later in
it's
the
a
game.
really hard game to call. I initially I would favor VSK coming into this matchup. They're obviously 2-0 while name pending is 0-2.
Mhm.
So you're going to favor the team that's looked better in their game so far.
Only
But
fair.
and they got a comp. They got a good comp. I think Nunu's a great pick in the jungle right now. I think
Yep.
Aatrox obviously is as good of a pick as you could possibly get for World Ender. It's literally his best champ. And
Hmm.
then Orianna
Is it
Zaya Rakan, nothing wrong with that. But I
now?
mean,
Is it that good here though? Is my only wonder because Aatrox. I mean, I don't think he has like a huge kiting problem, but he can really get kited this game, like in an
yes.
extraordinary. Like they have a very strong Like, I'm gonna Seraphine ult you, and now you're getting Ornn ulted, and now you're getting Ornn knocked up, now you're getting Bear slapped, now you're getting Victor slowed, and I don't know if Dane's gonna be able to play these team fights as well as he would want to, maybe.
If he doesn't get a lead, it will be really difficult for him to play out a team fight on the Aatrox. If he gets any sort of lead, he'll do the damage that he really only needs to land 1 or 2 Qs onto like any backline member, and it'll completely ruin the fight. All 3 backline members will basically have to turn and focus just the Aatrox, and that
Yeah.
lets Orianna and Xayah have their way with the front line from name pending. But if he can't find himself any kind of lead in the top lane against Terrain's Ornn, he's going to be too squishy and do too little damage to like survive the backline pressure and peel
Yeah.
on name pending, and
Yeah.
they're just going to 5v5 front to back, and I think they're both comes 5v5 front to back is really good, but I think name pendings is better.
Yep.
It's just a hard game to predict for me, honestly. I think, like I said, I think
Yeah.
VSK's team is probably better overall. I think they're a better team, but name pending I think came away with an easier to execute and just better overall 5v5 comp, but not by much. It's close.
Easy to execute is always very good for VCU LCS. I mean, VSK has to communicate where Orianna ball is going. Is it on Rakan? Is it on Nunu? Are they planning their engages right? Name pending just has to press Seraphine R and then win the team fight. So it's tough. Also, I just want to talk about bot lane real quick before the game. I mean, do we have 2 minutes still, or we? No, we're about to load it, I think.
We are actually loading in as we speak.
The bot lane matchup is volatile for sure. So I'm looking there a little bit just for the early game to see if there's any crazy stomps happening, if there's like a weird level 1 engage or anything, but I don't know how well those bot laners are going to be able to, if they get a lead, bring it into the mid to late game. Because they're not, I mean, they're very fine bot laners, but they are not the best bot lane in the tournament. I don't think either team is, but they do have strong lane champions.
That's
that can
definitely
really
true. Kaisa Seraphine can definitely put out some like early game poke pressure. They're not super easy to play against, but Xayah Rakan actually with their inbuilt synergy from the shared abilities that they have are actually pretty dangerous lane duo. Now Rakan doesn't have a ton of kill threat over onto that team, but if he can find a good knockup, especially if a jungle gank comes in from Nunu, which they don't have any real good peel against Nunu if he just snowballs into the lane. They could look for early kills in that bot lane for blue side.
Absolutely, and here we see the very lame 5-point. We get a ward on red side. I don't know if it'll do much because they know it's there, so they can kind of path around it, which is fine. But I'm a big fan of invades. I think it's cool. I think it's a way to get an early lead or to die. Makes it really spicy. Very fun to watch.
Yeah,
Action
I,
packed.
I think too many people are comfortable with just doing
Right.
the 5-point. I think too many teams aren't willing to like take the risk,
Right.
which I kind of get in a competitive game. If you mess up the invade, then suddenly you're at a big deficit and you have to play out the rest of the game, and it feels really
Right.
kind of doomed.
I think
But
it's about just analyzing the risk maybe and just making sure. Like for this game, VSK. I mean, their level 1 is insane, right? They have
yes,
Zyra double W start. They should go invade and look for either a kill or some good wards, in my opinion. But it's sort of up to the team who can do it to do it, I think. But we're getting started here for the game, first game of the week, and oh man, I'm excited to see some slaps. I'm excited to see some good farming out of this mid lane matchup, and maybe a level 1 engage here if Sax Muffin can find the angle.
be good. I think that the 2v2 early on in the mid to jungle favors Orianna and Udyr. Just a bit. Victor and Orianna, that matchup mid lane kind of swings back and forth throughout the early game. Orianna is a little bit stronger early in the 1v1, then it swings over to Victor's favor as he starts to pick up his upgrades and items. And in the team fights, they both do honestly about the exact same thing, so
Right. Yeah. Big AOE.
doesn't change too much. But Orianna's skirmishing is a lot better early game. Her cooldowns are just way better, and she provides just a lot more. So despite Udyr being really strong in that 2v2, I think Orianna's just going to bring so much more than Victor if they do tend to take any scuttle fights.
Yeah.
That red side should probably play it a little bit safe.
Sax Muffin tags Roland Chang. Not too much damage. They've been taking a lot of pokes, so it's a little bit hard for Zaya to get in there. Oh, Vice Lele doing a good job poking in the mid lane too. Man. Oh, did you see that? They just canceled the Ornn dash with his 3rd Q. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
intentional, but it was really
looks
sick.
like he's going
Oh,
for a
and he's
solo kill
going in
here.
now that he's hit level 3.
Udir's nearby.
Udyr is top. He's not close enough at all. I mean, Tornay gets a free flash here, I think, to get out. Oh, no, Dane. Oh, my gosh. And the TP from Vice Lelele. They might kill Dane here for flashing forward like that.
Should get out.
Oh, no, he's free. He's free.
J-Clem,
Oh,
though.
man. All kinds of act. Wow, big pop from Udyr. The root, the flash over the wall. Ooh, and the snowball doesn't get him out. That's first blood for red team. Oh my gosh, name pending is in the game.
Yeah, well played for name pending there. Just punishing the fact that Dane went a little bit too aggressive. I was going to comment that I liked the way he was playing this early game. He allowed Ornn to, not necessarily allowed, but Ornn did get the early shove while Udyr was on top side, so he was safe from the Udyr gank. Actually, we're going to see a little bit of a skirmish on the bot side here.
I think Baby Schmidt is too low to go in on this.
Yeah.
Man, oh my god, they lose that trade too. I think they missed their opportunity with level 1. They didn't go in at all. I mean, they don't have, Kaisa damage level 1 is it's a lot, but I think double W start is strong too, but now they're getting time to poke, and is this a dead Sax Muffin? There's no way.
Might be.
Oh my god, he almost died. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Kaisa gets the isolated Q on him and just does a ton of damage in the at any point of the game, honestly. I was going to say early game, but early, late, any point, Kaisa isolated Q is just pretty devastating. World Ender's pretty low here. I don't really know if he wants these trades.
A lot of poke, and I mean, we see a huge CS gap in the jungle right now, currently, just from that top skirmish. Udyr got double crab, he's full cleared, all the way back up to top again. 20 CS up already on the Nunu, which is, CS isn't as important as it used to be, but it is still a great thing to have. Wow, Dane's actually going back in. Oh, he flashes, doesn't make it out in time. Does he have Q up in time? No Q up, so he can't follow anymore. Scared of the Udyr, because they don't know where he is, I think. But Nunu's snowballing in. Going around. I don't know if he's going to go for it. It's looking actually horrendously scary here.
Yeah, World Ender's really low. It's going to be hard to make this dive work.
They're both very low.
Udyr's here too.
Okay, that was pretty bad to fall into that Q, but Nunu can't make it behind the tower. The wave's not pushed in yet. The TP coming in is really, really nice. Great W from Aatrox there. Is this a kill on the Big Ichi? No. Nunu falls first, but they trade 1 for 1. Proxy's almost dead. Tornay should die here. Can Dane make it out without taking turret? He definitely can. Double kill for the Proxy Orianna mid Prodigy. Really, really, really nice TP. I think without that TP, they all die.
World Ender's still fine here. He's not in any danger at all. If he goes in, maybe he ends up killing himself, but I think he's trying to bait Proxy. Trying to bait Vice in here because Proxy's still around, and they do get the flash. But now at level 6 is off below Vice Lele. They stayed around just a little bit too long. Gonna take a lot of damage, and now Terrain is back here using the TP to get back in the lane.
Oh my gosh, a second TP to come back to look for the fight. No flash on World Ender. He dodges the Brittle. Very, very nice dodge. I think he needed that. Yep, that E would have killed him 100% if he got Brittle auto-attacked. Wow, really nice from Dane to walk up like that, and they get out of there barely. Barely out of there. Oh my god.
Yeah, Big Ichi looking to start the dragon, but
Ocean's a scary one to solo because
Nunu's
of the
here.
flow, and now that they know, I think...
TP behind.
Oh my god, TP, another TP. Wait, how do they have TPs though? Oh, it's Aatrox TP. Oh, this is so scary for red team. Absolutely terrifying. Oh, the Chomp! Oh, but the Chomp Smite doesn't get it. We're gonna roll in Chang. Team fight's a little bit split up here. J-Clem's taking a ton of damage. They've got more people here. No ADC on the side of VSK. Slap? No flash on Aatrox, there's no way. And the Ignite, and he is just down for his TP, and Tornay is getting plates top for free.
Yeah,
Ooh, Terrain,
not what you wanted. Looked like that play might be good for blue side, getting the Aatrox flank TP behind on the Dragon Pit, but Aatrox is still level 5. He did not have his ultimate to use in this fight, and so he's basically... I mean, he just didn't have the kind of effect he needed to end up winning there with how strong Udyr is at this point. They just didn't have the damage, the mobility, the healing, anything. And he does end up sacrificing his life to keep Sax Muffin alive.
They got a few sums out. Ignite was good for bot lane to get a little bit of pressure relief down there, but man, Brain got a whole lot from that trade, and Udyr is not a champion you wanna fight early on. Is J-Clem dead to Raptors here?
I think he lives. He had consumed.
He got a chomp. Okay. But yeah, J-Clem wasn't able to get the chomp smite. I know when I was playing jungle, when I was learning jungle for the last season, I was on Nunu duty at the beginning, so I could chomp smite and never miss a smite. But it is still tough to do when you're flashing in and the pressure's on.
Definitely is. Game state currently favoring the name pending They are about one and a half, little under 1.5K gold ahead, which at 8 minutes is a pretty decent lead.
Yeah, and for the team that scales harder, I like to have them having the gold lead in the first Drake. It's
Definitely.
very nice for them. Very, very
And,
nice.
and you're really feeling pretty good just
Oh,
because Aatrox all coming in. Vice does not have flash right now.
it seemed a little bit random, but they just kind of just did it. Oh my gosh, the 1 HP from all the healing from Aatrox. Wow, I kind of can't believe that worked, but really nice awareness from Dane to know that it could work, I guess, and from them to have use double ults for that. I think that's a fine trade to get them
Yeah,
back in a little bit.
Vice played it pretty good, got his W down there to end up getting the stun, but without his flash, it's just pretty easy to punish. World Ender just finally level 6 now, using his ult to run in there with the extra movement speed, and Proxy could just pull him back in. The one bright side for VSK right now is that Proxy is actually pretty fed here with 2 kills already, and an assist as well. He is decently strong, so he's going to do a little bit of damage here, and with his ultimate, they're able to actually find that kill and kind of get World Ender back into this game, because I was just about to mention, I don't think he's strong enough to like where Terrain is really scared anymore. I mean, he might keep a 10 CS lead the rest of this game, but I don't think Terrain is sitting there worrying he's going to get solo killed now, or you just get tanky enough, and Aatrox doesn't really do much to you.
My only thing is, oh my gosh. So he actually kind of does a lot to him right now, just because he went for tabbies. He went for tabbies and then double Ruby here first. And
Udir's here.
Oh, Udir's there. Wow, it's a free kill. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Dane didn't have flash either, and he burned ult mid, so he kind of was also looking about as free as Vice Lele was earlier.
Yeah,
and now Udir's invading top side. Ooh, that's tough for Nunu. That's so tough. Oh no, actually, he doesn't lose any camps.
Yeah, he had already cleared his whole top side out, so he doesn't get punished at all. But Udir is just a super balanced champion. Runs in there, you know, basically does all the damage to World Ender by himself, and
really
sends him back to the fountain.
Udir damage is actually it is a lot, especially with a 40 CS lead up over the Nunu. It is not, you do not want to mess with an early game Udir at all. I was gonna say though, for Ornn, I know usually against Aatrox, like Bramble Vest, with it just being such a gold efficient item, and Aatrox just having so much built-in healing before he even gets the Gore Drinker. Oh, and I'm sorry, we have a fight in the bot lane. A whiffed ult, but a Nunu snowball coming in to turn the fight.
Here comes TP.
TP coming. Oh my gosh, they're getting barely out, and oh my gosh, they're all dead to the Victor ult. Oh my gosh, what an amazing ult. Ult and TP from Vice to really, really turn that fight around. It was looking pretty bad for, honestly, both sides, but...
World Ender's dead here.
And now World Ender. He got his flash back up, so he might be okay. He went for a Q. He's getting so much healing. Oh my god, he really almost turned that. Oh, Proxy's here. VSK's mid lane's in now, and I don't think they can go for this. I do not think they can go for this. Too many heals and shields.
Yeah, they don't have the damage. Blue side is just now about 5,000 gold behind at 11 minutes. It honestly really devastating. They did a really good job on the top side, dropping the Herald to pick up the first turret and getting the kill onto World Ender right after. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, they get that huge play. A great flash from Bode Kinkajo, actually. Dodged out on the Xayah ult and a lot of the Rakan engage. So they turn that fight instantly. And then even though Nunu shows up, Vice Lele's teleport came in, and by picking up, I think he picked up 2 KP there, which on Victor in the early game, every single kill participation you can pick up is huge. That's halfway to your next upgrade right there. It's worth 50 minions, which at this point with only 67
God, no
farm,
way, really? So
yeah,
can you tell me more
your
about
upgrade.
Victor passive? I don't really know how it works, honestly, the new one.
Yeah,
you farm minions and you get KP and you get your upgrades?
Yeah, you get an upgrade. You have stacks. You get an upgrade every 100 stacks. Every minion is worth 1. Cannon minions are worth 5. And takedowns, so kills or assists, are worth 25. So getting them early into the game, any kind of kill participation is actually huge because the upgrades are just a ridiculously large part of what makes Victor decent.
Yeah. Oh, trading in the top lane. Dane hits a minion with his W. Oh, but there's a bigger fight in the bot lane. Saxmuffin goes in. He's ulting late, but he gets them charmed, but not really any follow-up damage because Baby Schmied is getting wailed on by Big Ichi. Huge, huge Big Ichi damage for him being up so much CS and so many kills. And Red Laning, I'm very scared because the scaling team is scaled.
Yeah, this is looking pretty scary for VSK at this point. They don't have a front line. World Ender and J-Clim are both so far behind that like they can't do frontline things. They cannot keep the backline at bay for long enough for their backline, which is also behind, to actually do anything. You see Xayah is down 0-2. While Proxy is 2-0-1 on this Orianna, Orianna by herself just doesn't do enough damage to win the entire fight against an Ornn. Against this Udyr right now, who's building Turbo Chem Tank. He just can't one-shot these tanks, and Udyr doesn't feel like a tank when he's hitting you at this point. So, you know, it's a huge frontline gap.
Tanking all the damage you're dealing to him, but also he's dealing so much damage back.
Yeah.
I mean, Udyr's so fun. I mean, he's so fun. I mean, that flame pop, being able to farm in such a really interesting. He's like an interesting farm pattern, even though he's just auto attacks. But I don't know. I think he's cool, even though he is. I don't know why they gave him the nerf they gave him, because I don't know if that did much, but
He is going to get nerfed again.
Champ. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He should be more of a prio pick, I feel like. Is this the first time we've seen Udyr in this tournament? I don't know if that's true at all.
I believe it's the first game because it's been banned every other game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think it's been banned. It's been banned at least most games, if not all. And I do believe it might be the first game we've seen it. But I think that's only because either the junglers didn't play it or it got banned.
And I want to talk about plates here real quick. They just went down, and we see top lane. They got first turret already. Terrain is so tanky. If you're talking, let's see that Bramble Vest I was talking about. I guess he really didn't need it because he just got to finish his Sunfire ASAP and then build it with all this gold he's got. He's a level up on Dane.
I mean, World Tender doesn't want these fights.
No way.
He's down 1,500 gold at this point to the Ornn, and a level right now. With this ult,
we get to see who wins this fight. It's the
Ornn gets a knock up.
His Sunfire is doing so much damage here, and wow, Terrain solo killing Dane. He has a huge lead, but I mean, I guess it's expected. Now we have a fight in the bot lane. All the ults used. Great dodge by Xayah to get off that Seraphine ult, and now Nunu's rolling in. They have no abilities left. Rakan has high cooldowns. Oh, but his W's up. Go for the root, J-Clip. He gets the root. He gets the root. And is he gonna die? What's he doing? Okay, he's out. He's out. Okay.
Udyr though.
I took the solo now. The flash forward to get the nose damage. Oh,
I believe we're about to see a triple kill. Alright, maybe only a double. I don't know. Actually, I think Udyr can just run into this turret.
He can totally do this. Oh, nope. He can't do this anymore. I forgot.
He can still do it.
He forgot. He didn't swap his ult. Oh, no. Okay, wait.
World Ender, big shutdown.
He's so fast.
He's out. He's out.
Terrain with the save.
Oh, that's tragic.
That is so. He could. Oh, he just stood there. He just stood there.
Yeah. This is tragic.
Oh my God. Well, Big Ichi could have had a third kill, but instead he's going to clear all of Nunu's camps and live. Oh, Proxy.
So, I guess Big Ichi's just the best jungler in the tournament at this point, but...
Best player. Ooh, really nice. Roland Chang has no flash from that bot lane fight. That's a good pickup right there. Roland Chang running in a little bit deep into that jungle, thinking he's safe because he's got Terrain and Udyr on the chickens, but no, he is a bit too far down.
Definitely a good pickup there.
Don't know if that brings him back in the game. But
no, it does not. He does finish his first item. He does get his mythic, but he has 2,000 gold down to just the Ornn at this point. He can't split push. We already saw he got solo killed once with a smaller gold lead than it is right now in that individual top matchup. He cannot actually duel this Ornn. He's not going to be able to split push. He's still a threat in team fights, but Ornn is just a much bigger threat in team fights.
Don't know if he's a threat in team fights. Honest to God. I think it's too hard to get through them now.
Yeah, it really is. If he gets onto the back line, he could do something. But I think he's in danger of being solo killed again.
Doesn't have jungler support. Proxy's walking, but I don't think Proxy makes it in time. Actually, Nunu's just dead here on the Rift Herald. Smite for smite. I want to see this top lane fight. They're still scrapping it out on my screen. Oh my gosh, a sick flash forward. I just scrolled down for it. I hope it showed.
It did show. It did show.
Okay, good. Okay, good. That was really, really close from Terrain. I don't know if he needed to take that fight, but they bought them time for that Rift Herald fight to grab Rift.
Ooh, Vice caught. Good flash.
All of them. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wow. Blue side's just kind of falling apart at this point. Proxy's still holding good. He actually doesn't nearly have the most gold in the game. He's tied in gold with Vice Lele and Bode Kinkajou, but he
just grabbed 700 from Terrain. So
yep,
that's very nice for them. But I don't know. It's still, if they need a really, really good coordinated team fight effort, or like a 5v4 fight, where they really just get a nice pick. The ball's on Rakan. Rakan gets a 4-man. Orianna pop, and that's like kind of their win con, which is not something you really want as your win con.
I think you really need Red Side to mess up at this point. I don't think you can take a 5v5 fight. They would have to play it so bad to lose at this point. You really need them to mess up in their rotations, and you can just keep getting pickoffs, keep getting these shutdowns, and honestly, you want to keep throwing gold on the proxy. You just have to hope that like this Orianna can one-shot the
This
entire
dragon
backline.
fight might be the place where red team throws, or blue team throws, excuse me. Ichi tanking 3 members, barely out. Kaisa on the back, destroying everyone. Another huge shutdown to proxy though. Has the red buff. Does she get out of here alive? Ornhorn coming in. She gets a hit. I don't think she makes it. I don't know if she makes it. She does not make it. And that is an ace. Going over to the red team. Man, oh man.
So
That's bad.
silver lining.
That's
Proxy got 2 kills.
Yes,
Both were
Proxy is
shutdowns.
so bad. He's actually so bad.
Still doesn't have the most gold in the game. Both Ornn and Udyr have more gold than he does, but he is really fed compared to the rest of the members on his team, and that's where you kind of want the gold at this point. Having it on Xayah would be nice, but I think that's just too much to ask at this point. You just need Baby Proxy can one-shot the backline or something, but you saw just how devastating the Udyr could be. He stood right up in the face of the entire backline of VSK, literally 1v3.
What is this? What is that?
He's just dead.
What's happening? Terrain's still taking turret. He didn't die.
Oh,
what
he
the
lived.
heck?
Vice just decided to be generous and let him live. I appreciate that. You know what, Vice? I like it. You know, show mercy.
I didn't have cooldowns, but he was like, you know what?
Yeah, he would have.
You're fine.
Your Q's not that long. It's probably like 4 seconds at this point, I think, for him. He could have waited for a rotation. Ornn was under turret with all the minions, so you could have like stepped forward to get the kill and then walked back and not taken turret aggro at all. But it's okay. I appreciate them giving giving VSK a chance.
Do they need another kill?
No, they don't. Exactly.
No,
They're already up 7k gold.
7K
with 3
is a
dragon
big lead, 3 drakes, 12 kills total. It is, I mean, Soul Point gives them the win here. They really just need to wait for that and just push waves until then. Take really any fight they want. If they have number equivalence or advantage and they know where everyone is, and it's looking good for name pending for sure.
Yeah, I want to quietly point out that Kinkajou is like playing this game really good. I'm gonna have to stop though because the fight's gonna start.
Well, yep, here we go, top lane. I'm still looking at bottom lane, very cool. Yeah, big fight coming out here. Ulting away, so there is no way they get a nice team fight, and red team just goes for drag. Whoa,
That's what you need.
Whoa. World Ender? I thought Victor would be totally fine in that side lane, but wow. Very nice of Dane to pick that up.
It's tough.
Wow.
World Ender is not that, after the kill especially, he's hardly down any gold to Vice. He was probably down, 200 or 300 before that kill. So, you're close enough in gold and item discrepancy to where Aatrox is definitely a threat to you. And, with Stride Breaker complete, a lot of people just kind of forget that Aatrox has that extra dash now, or any champ that builds it has the extra dash, the slow. And it looked like Vice just kind of got surprised. Thought he could probably use his phase rush and back away, but gets slowed there and ends up going down.
Do you think red team should have been... I personally feel like red team should have been a little bit more aggressive with their Baron play just right then, after picking up that kill in the jungle. Once Rakan pulled away with that ult. I think without that Rakan ult, it's a really good fight to take maybe, but I think they got scared after that engage. Wow, a couple of flashes coming out here. Ichi coming up the side.
Yeah, they were probably scared because Terrain was dead, but at the same time, even if World Ender TP's up, he had just used his ultimate, so he's pretty useless.
Right.
The Rakan's pretty useless, and there's really... I mean...
I was thinking they could, bait it, they could get TPs, they could get flashes, they could,
Yeah.
They just started...
You have to worry about a big Orianna ult in the pit.
That's true.
That's scary.
Even without ult, Rakan can still W in and set it up easy. So
to be fair, it's hard to even hit an Orianna ult on Udyr, and with him moving at Mach 5, and you don't... If you're hitting Terrain and not the rest of the backline, it's useless, because he's just going to tank that. I mean, he doesn't have much MR, but he doesn't need it. He just doesn't... Proxy's not going to do the damage to Terrain to make it worth hitting him until the backline's dead. He needs to be the last one alive, which is, easier said than done, especially when Ornn's this strong and can honestly probably just kill your backline by himself. He has more gold than anyone else in the game.
Team too, because they don't really have a front line. I mean, Nunu's got 1 item, 1.5 items, and it's mostly all HP. And it's I mean, Aatrox isn't. He's got Stride Breaker, and he's going for Hysterics, so he's not going to be too tanky either. So they're missing a lot of health, a lot of tankiness in these fights.
Yeah, and we see a Lich Bane is now complete on a Big Ichi's Udyr.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna point that out too. That's sort of a I don't want to call it a greedy pick because I think it's the right pick here when you're this ahead. I think it's a totally fine pick. Because he's so strong, he is so tanky without needing to spend that money on tank items that he can kind of buy that Lich Bane for the early extra pop damage. I mean, he is going to be like one tapping, the
Anyone.
squishies on this team, and
Yeah.
I mean they're all kind of squishy. So
I think if
see
somehow
here.
VSK can get this game, forced use of flash could make it over the wall. I think if VSK somehow manages to bring this game to like 35 minutes, then he will regret building the Lich Bane because it would be way less useful than if he was full tank. But they're actually looking to trade Baron for Dragon.
Baron here.
Yet. This is tough to do.
That's an okay trade, I think, but there's no reason they shouldn't. They should have vision on Baron right now, especially when they don't know where anyone else is.
Slow though.
So slow, but they definitely get it here. I mean, there's no contestant at all.
Yeah,
they're
this
just
is smart.
straight up trading Mountain Soul for Baron, and I think Baron's a much better objective than Mountain Soul. But
if you're red side, I don't think it's a terrible trade. I think they should have gone. I think they should have gone to Baron personally. One, they do it much faster. Two, if you give up one Mountain Drake to the enemy team, it means nothing. Well, getting a Baron for yourself means a lot. But
I just imagine there's a world where they get it all. You know what I mean?
They could.
I think perfectly even game, right? Mountain Drake's probably worse than a Baron, but in this game, Mountain Drake is totally fine because they will get the next Baron or they will ace them before they get to use their
Mountain
Baron.
Soul Mountain Soul is just good. I mean, you get the permanent objective. There's not literally taking this Baron. It's 1,500 gold, which you don't really want to give your opponents, but it's not the end of the world, and it's a stall tactic. Now your red side can't take the Baron to actually push in minion waves and end the game themselves, but it's not like blue side is going to get anything with this Baron. They don't get any turrets here. They can't push out of their base without...
Not even a little bit. But this helps them get toward 35 minutes. I mean, does it? No, I'm not sure, but it kind of does. And one thing I want to mention is the VCU classic of forgetting to split push, or not even really split push, but just to push other waves. Red team here could have one guy mid. Blue team could have one guy mid. I mean, they have Baron buff. They don't need to have 5v5 ARAM right now. There's no really reason to fight. It would be a great time to have someone have caught, like, I think they missed like 2 waves mid.
At this point, while blue side has Baron, split pushing is definitely the correct play. You're not going to be able to push through those Baron minions and actually like siege without your own.
Disengage here. I think this could be a good shutdown on day. No shutdown. I'm sorry, it's already gone. I don't think there's any way to hit any more ability. He's just gonna BM his way out. He's S-King.
Vice is here.
Oh my god, Udyr is so fun.
Yeah.
I cannot believe every jungler at VCU is not playing this character.
That gives up a turret.
So funny.
That cost him a turret. It's going to cost him your mid-tier 2, probably. Actually, it looks like they didn't have a wave, so Proxy's actually going to get there in time, so they won't get the turret. But it's still it's a trade of ults. You lose Sax Muffin's ult and World Ender's ult, so definitely worth. Big Ichi's just not the member you're trying to catch out here. It's too hard.
Definitely not. If you want to pick, it's not Big Ichi, especially now he's back to full HP. They were looking to get that top turret, but now it kind of seems like a fight is starting to break out. More numbers on blue side. So you may look here. Big Ichi's getting a little big for his britches, but he's also doing a lot of damage.
Victor's here. Victor has Lich Bane.
He had to flash out, but he's now in a really good position to carry this fight. Ichi flashes out too. Oh, J Clem gets it in, gets the smite, and Vice can't continue. So overall, pretty good for blue team.
Definitely really good.
It gets them more time for sure.
Yeah,
really good.
It's just buying more time. I mean, they just bit off more than they could chew there. They got a little too cocky. They assumed they could win that fight 2v3. Just because at this point Big Ichi and Vice are so strong, but they just had the number advantage, and that was really all it took. Rakan and Nunu and Aatrox all have a decent amount of crowd control, so if you just keep Big Ichi from basically moving the entire fight and getting his own damage off, and then Vice hurts a lot, but he's not at the point where he can one-shot champions like Aatrox, where he can one-shot champions like Nunu. He can definitely do a ton of damage over a long fight, and he did do a ton of damage in that fight, but not enough to actually pick any member off, while Big Ichi basically couldn't do anything because he was perma CC'd.
And VSK, they really only blew Rakan Ignite and Nunu Flash for 2 really, honestly, key flashes. Big Ichi flash stunning, Proxy or, Proxy's Orianna or that Xayah is pretty important. or flashing backwards to help his own backline is pretty important. So that's a good flash down. And Vice Lele, immobile mage. I mean, that's terrifying.
Yeah, definitely big for him. His flash is going to be really important in team fights, especially when he's fighting against this Aatrox, because now World Ender actually has like a little bit of gold. I mean, he's 600 gold up on Vice. He's still down gold to Terrain. He's down gold to Bode Kinkachu. He's down gold to Big Ichi as the most gold in the game, but he's actually at least threatening. He's not ahead on Aatrox, so not exactly where you want to be at this point in the game, but he has enough kill threat onto the backline to where you have to pay attention to him, and he's tanky enough with hysterics to where he probably shouldn't get like absolutely one popped. If he gets caught in a CC chain with like Seraphine and
Yep.
Ornn and stuff, he still will die. But that's a little hype.
A little hype, but that's okay, you know. And I just think Red Team still has so much easier to execute team fight, so much easier to execute AOE, CC, and damage. We may see a little bit of a fight here. World Ender's going really deep.
He's gonna.
No one has executioners or any sort of healing reduction. Couple of ults burned. Oh, in the return fight, Seraphine going in. Saxmuffin W doesn't find anyone. Not a big ult from Proxy, and Big Ichi's gonna start running them down. Oh man, this is the fight Red Team wanted. Wow,
yeah,
they
this
got to
honestly might
disengage
be the
and
game.
re-engage. This might be the game right here.
Yeah, they have a wave
Big
coming
Ichi's
down. Baby
down.
Schmeat's gonna end up dying as well. That's all their wave clear.
Dead, didn't do any damage with the Mountain Soul. Oh my gosh, and they just get everything here. I don't see how they can't just end, and if they can't, it's a free Elder on the way back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just walk this down here. The death timers are just too long for anybody useful. Saxmuffin will come up in 5 seconds, but like he's not going to do any damage to these guys.
No way,
they can just push down these turrets.
Man.
Nobody has any threat on the waves.
Terrain finishing his item just for fun. Terrain, really huge game from Terrain this game. Big Ichi as well. I mean, honestly, really just well played from Red Team. And a tough one to win for VSK. And really, GG all around. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a game.
Super pumped. Name Pending gets their first win. I've been saying for a while. I think Name Pending is actually like a pretty good team. To be fair, they got away with murder with their draft. They literally got like season 11 like perfect draft. But they executed it still. You still had to play that well, and I think this team can actually be good if they all play up to what theoretically should be their ability. And I think we're going to put out a poll here probably to see who we want to pull in for an interview. But I personally like Bode Kinkachu for this. I think he actually played.
Really?
I think he played super good. He ended up just slightly behind in gold to Big Ichi. I think the other two guys, Big Ichi and Terrain, both played awesome. But Bode Kinkachu, he dodged a lot of abilities with his ultimate. He constantly dodged Baby Schmeat's ult and the pull through. He dodged, I believe he dodged Proxy Oriana ult as well. And finished 7-1 and 7. If you look at the damage, he did the most damage on his team, not in the game. World Ender actually did the most damage in the game somehow.
I think it's a Terrain angle here, honestly. I mean, all those 1v1s, all those trades, early top fights, just becoming the tankiest man in the universe. I don't know. Also, Pooh, 61.5 thousand channel points from the bet.
Yeah, he took them all from me. That's the first bet I've lost. Since we started the betting, and he took a cool 25K from me, so I'm gonna have to get that back from him later.
That's crazy.
He's thinking he's all good now, but when we play our next game tomorrow night and I int on purpose to get my points back, he's gonna be a little upset.
Absolutely genius. Yeah, I don't know. Are we able to put up a poll for that and see who we want to get in here for the interview? Because I'm down for whoever wants it on their team because they all did pretty good.
I don't know if we can. I don't know how to do polls, and I'm not also streaming, so I'm not sure. If not, we'll just pick somebody. I think honestly, any of the members probably could get it. It would definitely, I think, Terrain.
Interview poll. We got one.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Vote for your favorite. I'm gonna vote. Man, these guys were all really instrumental. I think.
Big Ichi doesn't want it
by hanging out and not dying early, and Big Ichi roaming around, popping people, bear slapping.
You guys got to give some respect to my man Bode Kinkachu. Like he's gotten a reputation of being a little, suspicious down there in the bot lane, but he absolutely had a pop-off game today. But looks like it's probably going to end up being Terrain in the top lane.
I think it's Terrain, man. He went crazy, dude. Into Dane's Aatrox, and you shut him down to go 3-8. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, not that he killed him 8 times, but
He did solo kill him once and
did solo
almost solo
kill him,
kill him a
dude.
second time.
He solo. No, I think yeah,
No,
it
I
was
think
like
he did get him twice.
it wasn't like once. Yeah, it was like, man, and he was like, he pushed all the way up to that top tier 2, and was just farming minions and chilling, letting his team get whatever they wanted. And
Yeah.
yep, Terrain wins the interview. I think rightfully so. And I don't know how to get him in here, but because we're in the wrong Discord, so we will
Yeah,
go
let's
to.
move over to the
Oh,
VCU
Kim, you got to
Esports
move with us, I
Discord.
think, if you're here and ready. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I don't know how to get Bo Kinkajou in here personally.
We're not mods or anything, so we can't actually drag people. So Terrain, if you
Terrain, not Bo Kinkajou, my bad.
Terrain.
Actually, I think he has access. Does he have access to this? I'm not sure.
Oh my god. Oh, we
Look,
can't pull anyone.
actually, just go to just move to general and or no, there he is. He's here. Terrain.
Terrain, he's
with us.
in.
Holy shit.
What's up, Terrain? Oh my gosh, what an absolute game, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Feeling
you guys won that
pretty good. Getting your first win. How does that feel?
I would say finally, because I really believe we have a really solid team. We never played it with each other, so we had no idea each other's play style. So I think after the first 2 games, we finally got a grip.
You finally figured it out. I like
Yeah.
the champion draft this game. I think it was really, really good. I mean, maybe I don't remember the bans, but I think man, you guys really drafted. Was this the plan going into it? Did you
Yeah.
guys know you're gonna swap Vice and Big Ichi, or is that kind of like a flex you guys have going on?
To be fairly honest, I was not paying attention during draft. They were just like, okay, Ken, who do you want to go against Aatrox? I'm like, Ornn, I guess.
Ornn's good.
But no, the only thing I told them about draft is to completely leave top lane alone. Like, just don't ban anything top lane. Because I knew exactly he was gonna go Aatrox. And Michael was like, Ornn over Aatrox. I'm like, okay, I guess.
I mean, it looked really, really good, man. I mean, you were just able to get so tanky and just became thick.
Yeah. Honestly, it's because I usually play passive, really passive, and I realized that I can't play passive against Fat Cow. I actually have to punish him for trying to be aggressive early, and since Aatrox is weak early, it helped out.
Actually, really great because a lot of people are actually just like terrified of Dane, like rightfully so, I guess. But it's because I think the terror actually helps him a lot because like you were getting some really good trades in. I mean, it was like dead even the whole lane until you solo killed him and then killed him again, and all. I mean, it was, man, crazy fights up top. I think you played really well, man. I think your team also kind of went crazy. So
I'm sure it felt pretty good when World Ender TP'd bot for that dragon. He ends up dying, and then you just get to sit top, collect 3 waves of farm, collect 3 turret plates, and you're just sitting pretty up there. It's the top laner's dream.
Yeah. Literally, the moment he TP'd, I saw him die. I was like, okay, I guess I win. I win lane.
I guess I just get to buy whatever I want.
Yeah, I guess I win now. Like, yo, I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Well, super good game, Terrain. Really well played. And I hope you have a great night. Kicked.
Thank you.
I think that's going to do it for us on the stream. Congratulations one more time to Name Pending for collecting their first win. Absolute smurfing in the draft and then executing it out on stage.
First of many, I think. And if you guys are interested, feel free to stick around because we have Call of Duty coming up right after this. 9:30.
In 3 minutes, I believe. There will be Call of Duty.
Kind of great. So it's gonna go offline for a minute and then they will kick it back up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed the casting. This has been 4G.
And Red Lightning.
Later,
guys. Peace.
Another day. Bye, y'all.